Hello, my name is Susan Lauer. I am the administrator for Maharishi Vastu in the United States, and we are very pleased to have everyone with us. We welcome you to this series of webinars, the title of which today will be 5 Ways that Maharishi Vastu Creates a Harmonious Home. Jon Lipman, who is our National Director for Maharishi Vastu for North America, will be giving the principal presentation and also answering the questions that come in. Okay, Jon, would you like to begin?
We're next going to talk about the second of the 5 elements that bring harmony to a house, and that is what we call right placement. And what we mean by that is the following. It means that everything, all the major activities are in the right place in the house. Now, this goes far beyond the wise decluttering advice of Marie Kondo that many of us have run into on Netflix. It's wonderful advice, but we're talking about something which is more profound and which is universal. And let's go into it this way. How many of you, and I won't hear your answers, have ever gotten up at sunrise and gone for a walk as the sun is rising? When I ask that question and I'm able to see the answers, people always nod their heads and they indicate to me that the experience of doing that makes them feel great. Either they feel charged as they do it, or they feel more energy during the day. So there's some experience that is associated with being out in the rising sun. There's a different quality of experience being out under the sun at noon, and another one at sunset when the sun is declining. And so as a summary, we can simply say that the sun has different qualities of energy at different times of the day. Now, that is a law of nature that has to do with the relationship between the sun and life on planet Earth. Is there a way that we can use that law of nature to create more harmony in our homes? And the answer, of course, is yes. The way is that we locate certain key functions in a house, in certain quadrants or sectors of a house, such that a particular quality of the sun's energy will support a particular activity of ours. For example, it's quite likely that many of the people who are connected on this call practice the Transcendental Meditation Technique, or TM, and others of you may practice other meditations. And so many people on this call probably meditate once or twice a day in their own home. Well, it turns out that there is an area of the home where, because of a particular quality of the sun's energy, the quality of silence, of transcendence, is stronger. And therefore, it is sensible, if we meditate at home, to meditate in that corner of the house, because it will support the activity of meditation. Well, where is it? It's in the Northeast. A second example is every house has a kitchen. Every apartment has a kitchen, has a stove. Where should we cook? Well, the most common solution in Vastu, though not the only one, is in the Southeast. And why is that? Because one of the qualities of the sun's energies is a quality of transformation. And we understand through Ayurveda, the ancient holistic healthcare system that comes from the Vedic knowledge, that a key to good health is to be able to fully digest our food. And if the food is cooked in the right location in the house, where this quality of transformation is strongest, then it is most conducive to that food being transformable in our alimentary channel, and therefore improving our health. So there are certain places we'll put a stove, therefore a kitchen. Another example is one of the activities we conduct in our house is to be convivial, to socialize with other people. And it turns out that the part of the house, because of the different qualities of the sun's energy, that supports conviviality is on the west side in the center. So that's where we might put, for instance, the living room. So these are some examples of places in a home where if we place functions, our life becomes more and more successful and smoother. Now, I should mention that there has not yet been, to my knowledge, any medical or statistical research on this premise of Vastu, but you can try it for yourself. If you go to our website, under About Vastu, one of the drop-down links is, Suzette, is it an exhibit or a book about Vastu?
A diagram for room placement is on our website, and it's under the About Vastu tab. The first thing that in the pull-down menu is what is Vastu, and it gives the brief summary of what you've been talking about: right direction, right placement. If you click on the right placement, it will show that particular diagram.
Great.
So the same rules are applicable for room placement in the north and the south hemispheres, yes?
Correct. And now I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint. The third of the 5 elements that bring harmony to Maharishi Vastu homes is proportion, measurement, and dimensions. As we see in this example, there's harmony in the proportions of the beautiful structures of nature, be they seashells, such as we're looking at right now, or the human body, or, for instance, feathers. And if our house has the right dimensions, the right proportions, there will be a resonating quality in it that will nourish us. The Vedic formulas take into consideration, among other factors, the relationship of the homeowner with the sun, the moon, the stars, the planets, to ensure a perfect resonance between the cosmic structure and our individual structure and all of the components of the house. And without these mathematical formulas, there is no complete Vastu. And let's look at another related aspect of this: symmetry. Specifically bilateral symmetry, the kind which we see displayed in the human form, and in this example in a monarch butterfly. It's a visual expression of balance. It's an element of Vastu, and the eye quickly recognizes its settling influence. And so throughout history, around the world, in many, perhaps all cultures, there has been a tendency to build symmetrical buildings, building with bilateral symmetry, as we see in this example, lower right, by the famous Italian Renaissance architect, Andreas Palladio. We're looking at Villa Imo.
What is the significance of the plinth around the house, John?
There's a particular part of a building that one of our listeners has heard of called a plinth. And what is it, and what is its significance? Well, it is correct that Maharishi Vastu buildings and any Sthapatya building is composed of certain elements horizontally from the bottom going up to the top. The bottom element is by no means unique to Maharishi Vastu. We can call it a plinth, and what that simply means is it's a platform on which the walls of the house sit. And ideally and traditionally, it's a solid platform made out of stone, and the top of it is actually the floor of the house. Today, we often build in different ways. We may not have a stone foundation underneath the entirety of the house, but this and a particular outside profile of it, according to Vedic proportions and dimensions, is what we refer to as a plinth. The 5 ways that Maharishi Vastu can bring harmony to our homes. The first is right orientation of the home, and secondarily of our own actions in the home, major activities. Second is right placement, that is what we put where in the home. The third is right proportions or measurements or dimensions of the home in harmony with natural law. The fourth is using natural and non-toxic materials. And the fifth is the surroundings. And there's a whole hour that we could spend talking about ways in which the surroundings have an effect upon us, but it's common sense, and I don't think it needs any amplification. So when we incorporate these 5 elements to produce harmony, yes, they do, anecdotally and statistically, we can say with confidence, enliven in occupants' lives the qualities of good health, of happiness, of family harmony, of success, of growth to enlightenment. But those are just symptoms of something deeper that Vastu does. What it does is it aligns our individual intelligence with what we could call cosmic intelligence, with that field of intelligence that orders all of the cosmos. And when that is done, there is less suffering, we make wiser choices, and in many measurements, life becomes more successful and more harmonious.